So what happened? Let's see. One morning, I had picked up the Standard. Standard is a weekly magazine that comes in United Kingdom in England, and was glancing over its contents when my eyes were caught by an advertisement at the head of the personal column. It was worded in this way. Advertisements means when you are trying to sell your product, or when you are trying to inform people about something which is going on, and maybe if they are interested. So he sees an advertisement in the newspaper. Usually people put advertisements about selling, buying, hiring, renting. So he saw an advertisement and he was so surprised to see that advertisement, and that advertisement changed his life. The advertisement said, wanted for 1 or more days the services of a medical man. That means I want service of a doctor. It can be one day, it can be more than one day. It is essential that he should be a man of strong physique. So these are the requirements. This is what the advertiser needs from that person who would be uh, suitable for this job. Someone who's very strong built, someone who's very strong, very good body, of steady nerves, and someone who's very active physically. Someone who can run and do things very fast. So basically, they want a very physically fit man, and of a resolute nature, someone who's very determined to do anything under any condition, but someone who does not give up very easily. Someone who will make sure that things are done. Must be an entomologist. Entomologist means someone who is an expert in studies of insects. And a coleopterist. Coleopterist means someone who's an expert in the study of beetles, preferred. So this is what they want. Apply in person at 77B Brook Street. So this is the address, and it says the advertisement says that they have to come to this address to for an interview. Application must be made before 12 o'clock today, and if anyone wants to apply, they must come before 12 o'clock. So this is what the advertisement says. Now, I have already said that I was devoted to zoology. If you remember, I told you beforehand also that Dr. Hamilton was an expert and he loved to study about animals. Of all branches of zoology, there are different categories again in zoology. The study of insects was the most attractive to me. He loved to study about insects. And this is what the advertisement also said, that they wanted an entomologist. And of all insects, beetles were the species with which I was most familiar. And he loved to study about the insect called beetle. The advertisement also said that you want someone who is a cleopterist. As to the other requisites of the advertisement, the other requirements, what are the things that the advertiser wants? He wants someone who's very strong, so he wants someone who's very physically fit, someone who can run, someone who's very active, other things that they wanted. I knew that my nerves could be depended upon, and Dr. Hamilton knew that I'm the most suitable person for this job, because that which means that Dr. Hamilton has a very good body, he has a very good physique, he's very active, and he's an expert in insects and beetles. And I had won the weight throwing competition at the inter hospital sports. When he was studying medicine in the medical college, he had won a weight throwing competition. That means he was very strong. Clearly, I was the very man for the vacancy. He said, I'm the most suitable person for this job. Who said so? Dr. Hamilton is praising himself and telling. Within 5 minutes of my having read the advertisement, I was in a cab. Cab means a taxi, a public service where you pay, and on my way to Brook Street. Brook Street is the address where he has to go for the interview. 77B Brook Street. Okay. So now he has reached number 77B Brook Street. Brook Street was one of those dingy and yet imposing houses. This is a description of the colony. Like, let's say, for example, because we are living in Leh, so you have different colonies. Let's say Tukcha, let's say housing colony, let's say Zangsti, Skampari. In the same way, this is a colony called Brook Street. And the buildings in that area were very dingy, very, very dull. but yet imposing houses. Imposing, if you just flip the back of your page, you have the list of all the words. If you don't have access to a dictionary, you can just go through page number 81. Imposing means great and very impressive, So these houses were very impressive, which means that they were not normal houses. We are not talking about. So probably these houses were like bungalows, villas, very, very interesting and very, very grand. Dun colored. Most of the houses were painted in gray color and flat faced. That means there was no. It was not very highly decorated. All the houses looked very, very, very same. It was a very normal house with the intentionally respectable and solid air which marks the Georgian builder. Georgian builder is a different category type of architecture which was famously used in 17th and 18th century in Britain, and and the roots come from Roman architecture. So mostly the houses were had steep roofs. Sorry, I'm not very good in drawing these things. And then it had straight long windows, and then it used to stand on pillars. I'm sorry for this. I'm just giving you an example. So my videographer is laughing at my drawing. So never mind. I'm just giving you an example as in how does it look like. So full of hope, and now he's determined. When Mr. Dr. Hamilton, he's determined that he will get this job because he has all the requirements. He started ascending, means climbing up. He climbed the broad steps and rapped with the heavy rocker. Rapping is when you're trying to knock something repeatedly. That is rapping. And he reached the main door of the house, this beautiful villa. And then usually in the English, most of the houses in England, they have something like this. This is the main door. Let's say, for example, this is a main door. So you have a hinge like this, You can hold it and then you tap the door. And this is what rapping is.